Hello, this video is to demonstrate a website I made for my university project. So first you could go into the Git repository, and then you need to git clone it onto your device. I'm doing it on my WSL terminal. Git clone. Okay. Oh, wrong passwords. Okay, after you git clone it, you could go into the university apps, and then you basically get the same thing that you see in this Git repository. So how you start the server is, I have a shell script written down, start.sh. All you need to do is just compile this shell script and make it an executable file. Then you'll automatically start up the backend server, and then install npm, and then it'll start the front end. Give a sec. Yep, and this is the website you'll be seeing. This is the front end, and if you want to go to the back end, localhost 8000, port 8000, that'll be your back end, and this will be the front end. So let's have a look into the code at what we have. So the main changes is in the source code, we have apps.js, and this will basically import all of the component that we needed for this website. So at the start of the website, you have the navbar on top, which is this one. It'll always stay on changes above all the upper pages. You can always see the navbar, and then the route, it's basically it'll run a different element, a different component, depends on your browser link or HTML. So if you have a look at here, every time when I click it, you'll see the link changes, and route would detect that changes and then run different component depends on the link. And then we can go into the component. Basically what the apps does, it'll show all the degrees in the database, all the cohorts, and all the module we have. This is done by all these three components. Let's start at a look from the navbar first. So in the navbar, I created the navbar, and then each of them will change the link. We're adding stuff, changing the link, changing the HTML, which will trigger the route and then trigger different component. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now let's look at all degree. This is what all degree will show. So all degree, it'll fetch from the backend. If you go into the backend /API, this is where all the degree we have. So basically, we'll fetch the backend, store the data by using setDegree. So this is our variable with the list. It's an empty list now. So after we fetch it, we get data, put it into the list. Then we have a function to display for every single element in the degree list. You create a list object, and then with a link to which will redirect you into the degree cohort, which is single degree here. This is the component that's doing all this. So it's kind of doing the same thing. It'll go into the backend, get the degree info, and then get all the cohort which link to the same degree, which is like we have first year of computing, and then second year of computing, third year of computing, fourth year of computing, so on and so forth. And then return, basically just return any output that you want to show on your website. The stuff due in all degree does the same for all cohort as well, and all module as well. This one is just basically like all of them have different render module lists, render degree and render cohort. It's just defining how do I want to showcase the result they get. So I'll make them into a link, and then they'll bring you into, for all the student who is studying in the cohort. And then we have create cohort, create degree, create module, and create student, which is this page. create degree. So what does create degree does? Basically, you define what the degree data, what kind of data type does it contain. It has a full name and a shortcode, as both of them is a string. And then the handle input changes is after you put in your inputs, when you click trigger, when you click create, it'll trigger this function, and then it'll map the data name and the values you input, make it into a string. Then we send it into the server, fetch the server post, and stringify, make it into a string, so that the backend it's readable. And that's how we create a new degree. And then same goes for create cohort, create module, create student. Okay, if you have a look into create a new cohort, you see that this two is a string, but on the bottom here, this one is a primary key which linked to other object. If you go into raw data, it's basically linked to other degree object. If you have a look at the sample we have here, this is a string, this is digits, but then the degree is simply a link because it's connected to other degree. And if you want to create an object, you need to have the similar formats. You have to put in the HTML link for it to work. But what I did in my code is, after you put in, this create degree, let me show you, create cohort. After you put in all your data type, and then when you click create a student, before the create student, the data got sent into the server. We have this in the between. When you click submit, we have a prefix which will automatically add the link in front of your shortcode, so you don't have to type the whole link, which is very good. No one would usually type in the whole link when they would create something. So what my code does is it adds the prefix in front, and then it will change the word into uppercase, because that's what all the degree name is. It's uppercase, so it's fine if you put in lowercase, it will still change it automatically. And then I'll send it to the server. That's how you create the new object. And it's pretty much the same with create module as well. Module is same. You have primary key, but some of the modules deliver to different cohorts, which is a list instead of just a simply primary key. Yep, this one, the data type. So the data type is a list. So what's a little bit different with creating module is, instead of just simply adding the prefix into the data, I have to use map. So it add prefix to all the different element in the list, then send it to the server. Homepage is what you see. This is basically all the function that the website does. You can see all the degrees, view a single degree, create a new one, same one for cohort, view a specific degree, view a specific module, or like find out what module does computer science student have. This is their module for cohorts here, which is kind of the same. You go into the API and then find deliver to for in all the modules, deliver to, if it's contained the cohort ID, which is the one that you're looking for up here, it's cohort computer science 2. So whatever is equals to computer science 2, it shows up here. So it means that the module is delivered to the cohort. With student, because there's a lot of student in the database, so I'm not gonna display all student, but instead I can show a specific student. You get to see the student name, student ID, email, the module that's already have the grades, CA, exam, and it all adds up to the total grades and module it's registered for. To make sure that the whole website works, I'll show you by creating a new degree. Let's call it testing 1, and then the code will be T. Great. And then if you see all module, you have a new module called testing, but it doesn't have any cohort yet, so we are gonna create the cohort. The cohort ID will be T1, first year student, degree is T. You put in the shortcode. Now we create it, and a new cohort has been created. Go into cohorts, probably at the bottom. Yep, first year of testing, first year, and then it'll link it to the degree. Now to create a module for the cohort we just created. Create module, and the module has been created successfully. If you go into the module and then scroll all the way down, you have the testing module, but it doesn't have any student yet. So we'll have to create a student. Now create student have been created successfully. Testing year, and that's my name. You get to see it doesn't have any grade yet, so we will have to set grade for it. I'll have to use my student number because that's the unique key for every single student. Now you set grades. Grade have been set successfully. Go to have a look again. I might just refresh here, and you see the module is updated. Now I have my score, my grade for the module. Okay, just a quick update. I just realized that my code have a little bit of bug that every time when you do show all student, it's showing every single module that's available instead of the module that's delivered to the student. But now I have fixed the code, and just see view or degree testing. You have the first year cohort, my name, and this is the module that's only available for this student, for me. So what was going wrong was this was the code that was original. I was searching for the module that student equals to the student ID, but in reality, if you go into the API, if you go into the module, it doesn't have the option of student equals to student ID. That's why it's fetching every single data, every single module it has. What I modified to the code is basically I'll get the module and then deliver it to the cohort code, which is this one. If it's equals to the cohort that the student is in, then only display it out. If you go to student, you see student have an option of cohort to see which cohort does the student belongs to, and then that's how I extract this one, Compass 1, and then I'll put in here and look for module that only delivered to Compass 1. And this is the code that's separated out. You split it and then you get the last one. So yep, that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.